Hey everybody, it's Justin. I hope you're doing well. We are going to have two really important updates for 2022 in terms of how we lead our organization. And the first is going to be an updated pay scale. So I'm going to have a couple videos here for you guys. The first one involves our pay scale. So as you guys know, our current pay scale is what we call the path. So to figure out how much you would make, you go to the left-hand column, see where you fall in life, and then you look at how far you've advanced in your checklists. Where they meet is how much you make. Now, there are some pros to this system. First of all, it lays out a very clear path for wage growth and advancement within the organization. And secondly, it really encouraged you all to own your own development. However, there are some cons to this system. Specifically, it doesn't take into account three very important things that add value to our organization, namely your performance, your availability, and your tenure. So, for example, if you look back at the path, look under high school in the left-hand column, then go all the way over to trainer. So, under our current system, you could be a high school trainer. You could have been here for 2 or 3 years. You could be working 25 hours a week. You could be highly skilled, and you're only making $11.75. And then if you look in the column right under that, we could have just hired a brand new college student with no skill, limited availability, and no tenure making 13. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. So we wanted to have a system that would be able to reward your performance, your availability, and your tenure. So here is what we have come up with. Four categories of pay, essentially, or four pay bands, if that's how you want to think about it. First, I want to draw your attention to the top line. We're calling this full-time plus creative, I know. So this is going to be $16 an hour. So you are going to see, we are going to be advertising at the restaurant, hiring people at $16 an hour, and that's specifically for this full-time plus category, which you can see right under that. There are minimum eligibility requirements. So if you want to make $16 an hour, here is at minimum what you have to do. You have to be available 40 hours per week. You have to be available 5 days per week, and you have to be available for any combination of the following shifts: an opening shift, mid shift, or closing, and you must maintain 32 hours of work per week. And we're not going to budge on those requirements. So say you can work 40 hours a week, but you can only work 9 to 5. That's not going to cut it for full-time plus. Right under that, you'll see we have what is our current full-time. We're saying, hey, you just have to maintain 32 hours of work per week. That gets you in the conversation for the 14 to 16 range. Under that, part-time, minimum eligibility requirements, you must maintain 20 hours of work per week. And then another part-time category, 11 to 13, minimum eligibility, you must maintain 12 hours of work per week. So what we really like about the system is that it allows us to reward for your performance, your availability, and your tenure. So let's go back to that high school student. So now if I'm a high school student, I've been working for the organization for 2 years, and I'm working 20 plus hours a week, I can be making up to $15, but I can certainly be making $13 an hour, which is a significant pay bump for a lot of you in high school. Similarly, if I'm in that full-time category, so that 14 to 16, I've worked really hard at my skill in the kitchen or skill on IPOS or bagging, I'm adding value to the organization, and I've been here a few years, I can be making up to that 16 amount. So this system allows us to reward you guys who are really working on your skill and are able to work a lot, allows us to reward you for those things. So there's a few questions I'm anticipating I'm sure you guys will have. One, when will this new pay scale take effect? So your leaders are currently updating your wages as we speak based on three factors: your performance, your availability, and your tenure. And we will let you know your updated wage by December 12th. So we will be reaching out to you to tell you if your wage is going to stay the same or get an increase. Two, is it possible that I will be taking a pay cut? No. Initially, no one is going to be taking a pay cut. So if your availability does not meet those minimum eligibility requirements for a given pay range, you won't be receiving a raise, but no one will be taking a pay cut. Is there a new pay range for leaders? Yes, in general, leaders will be between $1 and $6 above those team member pay bands, depending first of all on your role, and then secondly on your performance, your availability, and your tenure. And your leader will be reaching out to you as well about those pay bands. 4, what's happening to checklists? Will I still receive a raise for completing my checklists? And I'll say this: hold tight. We're going to have another video that will answer that. In a minute, but keep doing your checklist because they provide just a great way for growth. So in summary, the current path is going away. The new pay scale allows us to reward you for your performance, your availability, and your tenure. 3, your leaders will be reaching out to you regarding your wage within the new system by December 12th. And 4, no one will be taking a pay cut initially. Some people's wage will stay the same and some will receive a raise. So I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of questions around this. I certainly encourage you to reach out to your coach or your head coach or even myself. And again, hopefully you guys feel good about this and that you feel like you can be rewarded for your performance, your availability, and your tenure. All those 3 things really add up to bring value to the organization. So thank you guys so much for listening to this. Look for another video on another upcoming change.